Um, how does it work? Should I give you maybe a little bit background, then we can talk about those specific questions that you sent me?
Yeah, let's just. How about you walk through a story, sort of your entrepreneurial activity or your endeavors up until this point. Kind of from the start to
Sure.
to when we work together to now.
Sure, of course, of course. So yeah, and feel free to like record this. If you need to listen, later, feel free to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, let me know when you're ready.
I'm. 1 second. All right, I'm set to
Yeah.
go.
Okay. So my entrepreneurship journey kind of started in 2014 at River Falls. So the university had it was called New Venture Competition at that time. So I formed a group and went to compete. So our company was doing cordless charging at that time. So the motivation behind it was that I had a lot of cords, cables on my table, on my desks. It has been annoying. So since I was taking that opportunity to kind of to see if we could create something that could reduce the number of cords or eventually eliminate that. That's kind of the bigger dream. So we went ahead with to tackle. So it's a very broad issue. So we went ahead and to tackle eliminating the cord for cell phones and the tablets. So the first version of the product we created, a prototype or MVP we created, was a wireless charging power bank for cell phones and tablets. That went pretty well. That company is still alive right now, but it's over in China, not here, unfortunately, because the downside of doing tech startup in Wisconsin is that there are less resources I could find here. If I would do it in, I don't know, Silicon Valley or somewhere, or in a bigger city, it would have been easier, I think. So that company is still alive. My second project was, so I had two other ventures I started in 2015 and 2016, was importing and exporting of different wireless charging devices in China, in addition to manufacturing and sell the MVP, the product we created in 2014. So it was called Streamline Product Solutions LLC and Failsafe LLC. And in addition to those importing, exporting business, Failsafe LLC was doing something else. So that was the second product I was involved creating. So Failsafe itself is the product name. So what it does is it provides delayed gratification for adults, or usually younger adults, millennials, who have problems saving money. So how it does is you set up a savings goal, for example, $4,000 in 3 months, and you can also set up like a frequency of putting money aside for that saving goal. So, for example, $100, $200 a month. So how that works is it's a physical lockbox. When you set up the goal, you can't open that box unless you break it. So it helps. It's kind of like a personal trainer for younger adults, millennials, for saving money. As you're building the habits, Failsafe has a partnership with different credit card company, different merchandise, and we give them a kind of a rewards. A gift card, like a 40% off, this kind of deals. So that didn't go well, because there were online companies who are our main competitors. For example, Alipay. So that's kind of like PayPal in China. So they have this feature called like Dream Fund, which is really work exactly the same like Failsafe. but it's an online thing that works with your like a checking account, so you don't deal with like physical cash. So that failed, unfortunately. So in 2018, when I was back to school, I started this new company called FireEye LLC. That was part of the as a result of Innovation Challenge, which is that same new venture competition, but they renamed it. So the purpose of it is to create a newer, hopefully more convenient way of using parking ramps and safer. A safer way to avoid like burglary, break-ins, this kind of thing. So we went to competition. We went to the competition in March. We won the school one. Then we went to the state one, which is the Wisconsin Big Idea Tournament. We didn't win, but we were selected to pitch at the international level in Utah in May by doing this at-large round. So the feedback was great. So a lot of people say that's exactly what they need. They hate the tickets. They hate using credit card at parking ramps. They hate the pay station. So this would be a very good product for them. So we did a lot of pilot programs with the parking ramps around the Twin Cities. Currently, there are about, I think, like 38 or something. Parking ramps uses our product right now. I'm not actively managing that company anymore. Basically, my dad is. So basically, the equipment used for that purpose, everything is manufactured in China. And we kind of have a small office in River Falls right now to kind of handle the customer service, sales, importing, exporting, this kind of thing, and after sales support. And in 2018, while I was doing this competition, that's when I met with Ben and Cole. So they were doing a kind of a drone company idea. Wasn't my favorite, to be honest. But I got in touch with them, thought they were enthusiastic and have a lot of motivation trying to do this and make it happen. So we kind of worked together on that. We refined the idea a couple rounds using the Link startup model. Up until Ben met with Riley, and we actually finally met you. So that's the time for it to kind of take off. And I kind of, as I personally started to invest a lot of time developing MVP, proof of concept, refining ideas from you, from Riley, from other hemp farmers. But I'm not working with them anymore. But I still have the product, which is being beta tested right now. Everything is free, but I will restart this company with my professor, who has been helping me doing the AI thing for hemp. There are two other people in River Falls, so I will restart the company after the COVID-19 passed. So yeah, that's kind of from the start to end, in a short 5 minutes summary.
Yeah, awesome, man. That's so cool. There's a lot of cool stuff you did in there. So I got a couple questions that popped up as you were talking.
Sure.
The first was, let's go way back, 2014, when you started Fire. What was the very first LLC you created?
Yeah, it's called Charge E, like a charge, but we have the Charge CHARG, then we have a dash E. So behind the name, we're hopefully making Charge like Charge EV or something like that.
Yep. So your concept there was to get rid of cords, but that kind of sounds like it took you into the wireless charging field. But that was pre wireless charging. Like I have an iPhone 11, for example, and it wireless charges via Mac. That was before this, correct?
Yes.
So what you obviously designed MVP, a minimum viable product. Did you have any steps before that? Did you do any market research or talking to customers to see what they'd want out of a wireless charger? What did that minimum viable product look like, and how did it come about?
Yeah. So yes, for every product I have been involved creating, I use the Lean startup process. So basically, it's a really bare bone minimum viable product. Then we use that to test, the market, learn people's feedback, and refine it. So the refined MVP, I would say like a 99% prototype, was a power bank. So you would carry it in your pocket, and it can charge your phone wirelessly, and can charge any phone with micro USB or USB at that time. A lot of phone was using like USB at that time, and the older iPhone charger, that flat one instead of that smaller one right now.
Yep.
So we did a lot of 3D printing, and we didn't do any fabrication, mostly 3D printing, because they allow us to doing MVP validation quickly. And the market research, yes, we had the small business center in River Falls kind of did that market research for us, basically figure out the market size, opportunity, and we did the Lean startup process to validate if this is what customer needs. And it turned out to be the 99% prototype was what they want. I mean, the first prototype wasn't.
Yep. It usually works out that way. What you thought they wanted, they didn't want.
Yep.
And then you got to recreate.
Yes. And with the 99% MVP, we actually collected pre-order. We collected people's money, and we did a Indiegogo. Indiegogo, not Kickstarter. Yeah, Indiegogo campaign, and fulfill the order. Manufactured in China, shipped it here, fulfill the order, and it's still alive, but it's doing something different right now. It's managed by my dad right now. It's not here. It's back in China.
Cool. Very cool. So we'll jump into some bigger questions. I just had a couple of questions about that
Sure.
company itself, because that's where you started. I'd love to hear about how you started, because you kind of build all your previous or post experience from where you start. So that's cool. I never knew that about you.
Oh, thank you.
So what your motivation, your original motivation for becoming an entrepreneur? Obviously, you've been in a lot of things that are different, and been trying a lot of things. Where did the motivation to be entrepreneurial come from?
So, in terms of motivation, I would like to talk about in two parts. So, first, motivation being an entrepreneur is kind of, so my dad has been an entrepreneur since he was 20 years old. He's almost 70 right now. So I kind of learned his, strategy. He helped me a lot. So, that's my first motivation. Second motivation was I really wanted to create something that will benefit people's life. So, for example, the charging one, it would be, more convenient, provide customer with, a neater desktop or tables, get rid of, some of the safety problem, because the cable was sometimes, if the cable is teared or broken, it could damage the phone. And there are several cases that people actually died because of the electricity shock from the broken cable. So that was kind of the major motivation. So every single product I have been involved creating, that has been the biggest motivation. I wanted to create something that is able to save people's money, helping people with their daily routine activity, or making something safer. So those were the two biggest motivation.
Yeah, and I definitely see that. I mean, for example, that parking garage one. I mean, it sounds like your goal was to make it safer for people to go in and out of parking garages, make it more convenient for people to go in and out of parking garages. I mean, yeah, awesome, Joe.
Yeah, and making it cheaper for people to operate, parking garages. So every single product was kind of behind those ideas. helping people. That's kind of the main thing.
Cool. And what do you say was your most successful venture, to date? What do you have the most pride in?
I'm proud of everything. So with those, I would say I'm the most proud of the hemp thing. So because it makes the biggest impact. So consider the parking garage, consider the power bank, considering the fail-safe thing. I would say the impact that those products makes are less compared to what it's not LifeFly anymore. I don't really have a name for it right now. But for this, the hemp AI thing, I would say it will be able to create the biggest impact by helping people, empower farmers by, using AI, provide them all the tools they need, especially the soil nutrients, different things. I would say this will create the biggest impact by helping the most number of number of people, and I think it's solving a bigger problem than other products.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've always thought there's some potential there, being firsthand in the field and seeing how much extra labor was going into things that I thought could be done via a product like you've put together, like the one Sli-Fi helped put together.
Sure.
Definitely. I'm excited for that. So yeah. I mean, and again, the last kind of question I have for you is that you still have plans to be entrepreneurial in the future. Yeah, and obviously you've done it a ton now. So I think the obvious answer is yes. But I'd love to hear from you.
Of course. I mean, for the entrepreneurship, like the spirit of it, I would say it exists everywhere. So although I have full-time job, I don't mind quitting it as soon as something becomes stable income, because you have life and dream balance. You have to be objective to that. You can't really fight with it when you don't have the money. But it's for me, it's entrepreneurship for life.
Awesome. Well, Joe, this has been awesome. An awesome talk. There's a ton of information here that I'm going to digest. Just so you know, I'm going to be writing up about a 500-word essay that's going to go along with this video. That's just going to kind of break down, the kind of entrepreneur I think you are, some technical things that you've used in the past, and whatnot. And again, I'm happy to send that to you when I'm done. You're going to see a lot of good things being said in there. I think that you're doing an awesome job and doing a lot of cool things. So just so you're aware, though, I'm going to be writing up about a 500-word essay on you. I'll happy to share that with you when I'm done, because I think you're going to like what I write. I recorded this conversation, and I'm going to turn it in for an assignment. So if you're all good with that kind of stuff, that's all I got for you.